From afar, it often seems like the lives of celebrities are filled with constant drama. Talented musicians, actors, and models end up on the covers of tabloids for failed romances or even destroyed friendships. Many celebrities end up marrying several times throughout their lives, and their divorces are often messy and highly publicized. While friendships don't usually make sensational headlines as much as juicy gossip over romantic troubles, there can be just as much drama when it comes to celebrity friendships. Perhaps one reason celebrities often have a difficult time maintaining relationships is because they have a penchant for drama. It takes a certain kind of person to star in films, release hit albums, or make the cover of popular magazines. A lot of celebrities share similar personality traits, such as ambition or even arrogance. These personalities can often clash, leading to disastrous relationships. While there are plenty of celebrities out there who are humble, gracious, and agreeable, it's no secret that a lot of them are cutthroat and self-centered. Even though these celebrities bask in the spotlight, their personal lives tend to be messy. For example, some famous friendships between Katy Perry and Rihanna, Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez, and Jay-Z and Kanye West all crumbled to dust. It seems like celebrities have a hard time staying friends with one another, but that isn't always the case. In fact, there are a few examples of beautiful celebrity friendships that have lasted decades. Perhaps the most iconic is the precious friendship between Jane Fonda and Dolly Parton. While their careers are very different, with Jane Fonda working as an actress, model, and political activist, and Dolly Parton working as a singer, the two have one of the most unbreakable friendships out there. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the unusual circumstances of Jane and Dolly's amazing friendship, as well as some of the amazing similarities between these two wonderful women. How Jane Fonda and Dolly Parton became friends. Jane and Dolly met on the set of the film 9 to 5. While the 1980 film was written by Patricia Resnick and directed by Colin Higgins, Jane produced the movie. In the early stages of production, Jane began thinking about who to cast. During a ride home, she turned on the radio and heard Dolly Parton's song 2 Doors Down. Fonda was hit by a burst of inspiration. She immediately knew she wanted to star alongside Dolly Parton and asked her to consider joining the film. Even though Parton had never acted in a film before, Fonda knew she'd be perfect. Dolly was uncertain at first about whether or not she wanted to join. She finally agreed, but only on the condition that she was allowed to write the film's theme song. Fonda heartily agreed, and before long, Parton had written the iconic song 9 to 5. The film was a smashing success and even sparked a TV show. The three starring women, Jane Fonda, Dolly Parton, and Lily Tomlin, all bonded during the making of the film and TV series, sparking a long friendship. However, while all three get along well even today, Dolly and Jane are absolutely unshakable. The two are very different. Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda make an incredibly unlikely duo. Dolly is a legendary country singer who didn't begin her career as an actor until 1980. Jane Fonda, however, got her start as a model before branching out into acting and political activism. Jane is especially concerned about environmentalism and has been part of many protests concerning climate change. In fact, she's even been arrested at several of them. Dolly Parton applauds and respects Jane's work protesting oil development and environmentalism. However, she's expressed that while she thinks Jane's work is powerful, she'd never join a protest or march herself. You'd think this difference might drive a rift between the two women. However, the two actually think their differences bring them even closer. Fonda and Parton have both explained on several occasions they have a lot to learn from one another. Accepting and respecting differences is a great sign of maturity, and the two have never let these differences get in the way of their friendship. Jane Fonda was a backup singer for one of Dolly's performances. Dolly Parton took her first step towards the life of an actor when Jane asked her to join the set of 9 to 5. Jane Fonda, however, had no experience in Dolly's line of work, music. Until that is, she joined Dolly as a backup singer in a certain performance. Dolly invited Jane to join her on stage at the Grand Ole Opry, a legendary country music performance center in Nashville. Afterwards, the two spent a wild and drunken night together, further solidifying their friendship. Even though Jane didn't have a whole lot of singing experience, the two were such close friends that Dolly was delighted to have her perform alongside her. It just goes to show how deep their friendship truly runs. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Facts First for more. Stick around until the end because we're going to reveal how Jane Fonda burst into tears when asked to describe the depth of her feelings for Dolly. They both share a love of charity. Even though Dolly doesn't necessarily take it upon herself to go to protests and marches, she loves to help others in her own way. She founded the Dollywood Foundation in 1988, through which she supports charitable and philanthropic efforts. Some of her charity efforts include promoting literacy among children, bringing awareness towards HIV and AIDS research, and donating $1 million to COVID-19 vaccination research. Dolly has remained a huge inspiration to others for decades due to her efforts to help others. In this way, Dolly and Jane are very much alike. Not only does Jane work hard as a political activist, she also does her own fair share of philanthropy. She donates heavily towards charities, promoting reproductive education and health, youth education, the arts, and the environment. Furthermore, she also established the Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Power and Potential. Even though Jane and Dolly are different in a lot of ways, they both share kind hearts and a deep love for helping others. Jane Fonda defended Dolly Parton during the Emmy Awards. In 2017, Lily Tomlin, Dolly Parton, and Jane Fonda were all nominated for Emmy Awards, and together they presented the Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie. During the presentation, Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda both used the opportunity to bring awareness towards political events, particularly surrounding one of their former bosses, Franklin J. Hart, who was both bigoted and sexist towards them. Dolly, however, made no such comments. Afterwards, some began to criticize Parton for not using her platform to speak out politically as well, but Jane wouldn't have it. She explained that while she and Lily both wanted to take the opportunity to declare some important things on their mind, they didn't expect Dolly to do the same. Even though Fonda took a different approach to the presentation, she appreciated and respected Parton's decision to make light jokes instead. Jane Fonda's tearful discussion of her friendship with Dolly. The 2020 documentary about Dolly Parton called Biography Dolly featured a personal interview with Jane. The actress was reduced to tears when thinking about her deep friendship with Dolly, recalling just how kind-hearted the iconic musical artist is. In one part of the interview, she tearfully stated, "Through her songs, she opens her arms wide and embraces such a broad swath of people that don't always feel seen, and it's why people love her." Even though Jane and Dolly are very different, it's clear just how deep their love for each other runs. They've been friends for over 40 years, and it's clear their friendship will last much longer. Were you more surprised to learn that their political differences actually bring them closer? Or that Dolly let Jane sing backup during one of her performances? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.